Sophia never imagined her life would turn into a battlefield. One chilly autumn evening, she stood frozen in her kitchen, holding her phone, staring at a message that shattered her world. "She's with me now. Don't bother calling." It was from Ethan, her partner of 7 years, the man she thought would be her forever. But the words didn't just confirm his betrayal. They confirmed that the woman he left her for was someone Sophia had trusted like family. Her best friend. In a single moment, Sophia's home, her future, her entire sense of self-worth collapsed into pieces. But what Sophia didn't know was that life had its own plans for revenge, and justice was already on its way. Sophia had always been the quiet, reliable one. She worked as a nurse in a busy hospital, long shifts that drained her body but filled her heart with purpose. Ethan had been her anchor, or so she thought, the charming lawyer who always knew what to say, who always had a smile ready for everyone. For years, she had put her dreams aside to support his career. Late nights waiting for him, cooking dinner that often went cold, pretending not to notice when he became distant. But betrayal doesn't arrive suddenly, it creeps in quietly. Sophia began to notice the little things, Ethan leaving his phone face down, disappearing on late work meetings, laughing at texts he never explained. And then there was Olivia, her best friend since college, the one who shared secrets, vacations, and even family dinners. Olivia was practically part of the family. She was the one Sophia called when she felt lonely. The one Ethan claimed was like a sister to him. Until that night. Until the message. Sophia's world fell apart. Nights blurred into endless tears. She would stand in front of the mirror, touching her face as if searching for what she lacked, whispering, "Why wasn't I enough?" At work, she forced a smile, tending to patients while inside she was crumbling. Friends offered advice. "Forget him, move on, you deserve better," but their words felt empty. She had invested 7 years. 7 years of loyalty, sacrifices, and love. Now replaced, discarded like she meant nothing. Sophia sank into silence. She deleted social media to avoid seeing their pictures. She stayed away from the cafes they once visited. She even considered quitting her job, just to escape the city where every corner reminded her of him. But pain, when carried too long, begins to turn into something else. Something sharper. One night, after a particularly hard day at the hospital, Sophia sat on her balcony with a notebook. The pages were empty, just like she felt. But slowly, she began to write. Not about Ethan. Not about Olivia. But about herself. Her fears. Her strength. Her dreams. Dreams she had buried under the weight of someone else's ambitions. She wrote for hours. By the time dawn arrived, she had filled 20 pages. Something shifted inside her. She realized Ethan's betrayal wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of her own. Sophia signed up for a writing workshop. Then another. Words flowed from her like medicine, healing the wounds one sentence at a time. She turned her journal into essays, and those essays into short stories. Her colleagues noticed a spark in her again. Her laughter returned, softer but stronger. Months passed. Ethan and Olivia flaunted their romance across social gatherings. People whispered, some judged, but Sophia stayed quiet. Then a life intervened. Ethan's law firm got caught in a scandal. A major case exposed him for unethical practices. His charm could no longer save him. Clients pulled away. His reputation crumbled. And Olivia, the affair that began with excitement turned into bitterness. She discovered Ethan's lies weren't reserved only for Sophia. He had been charming other women behind her back too. Their picture-perfect love story dissolved into arguments, mistrust, and public humiliation. Meanwhile, Sophia's words gained attention. A well-known magazine published one of her essays titled Healing After Betrayal. It went viral, resonating with thousands of people who had felt the same pain. Publishers reached out. Sophia signed her first book deal. The same city that once reminded her of heartbreak now knew her as the author whose voice inspired others to rise from ashes. It wasn't planned, but fate has its timing. One rainy evening, Sophia walked into a cafe to meet her editor. And there they were, Ethan and Olivia, sitting at a corner table. Ethan looked older, defeated. Olivia's smile was forced, her eyes dull. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Ethan stood, stammering, "Sophia, I—" But Sophia didn't let him finish. She didn't need to. She simply smiled, not with bitterness, not with regret, but with the quiet power of someone who had rebuilt herself. "I hope you both find what you're looking for," she said, her voice steady. And then she walked past them, head held high, toward her new life. In that moment, she realized the truth. Revenge wasn't about watching them suffer. It was about thriving despite them. A year later, Sophia's book launch drew a crowd so large that the bookstore ran out of chairs. Readers lined up to thank her for putting their feelings into words. She signed each copy with a simple note, "You are enough." Ethan's name was now whispered with shame, his career gone. Olivia had vanished from the spotlight. But Sophia, the woman once broken, had become a symbol of resilience. Sophia's story reminds us of something powerful. When someone betrays you, they are not defining your worth, they are revealing theirs. The greatest revenge is not anger or hatred. It is growth. It is standing tall when the world expected you to fall. Sophia lost everything she thought mattered, only to discover that what truly mattered had been inside her all along. Her story teaches us that resilience is the quiet fire that transforms pain into power, and that justice, in the end, belongs to those who choose themselves.